bounced back with 3 touchdown passes, including one to Josh Doxson, who is so inconsistent. Well, I just, like, what is your assessment on Josh Doxson? Like, I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't say he's a nothing, but to me, he's not a number 1 receiver.
Well, it's so bizarre because now he's got 6 touchdowns, but yesterday he didn't catch a ball until his 8th target. Or on Sunday.
Right.
He had 13 targets.
Some of them are on Kirk, but most of them are on Josh. Most of them seem to be on Josh. Some of them
he doesn't seem to like extend both hands, or he doesn't catch.
He could have 2 touchdown catches.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I'm not that obsessed with him. He's just not that good.
He's just an okay number 3. He's an okay number 3.
He's a 3.
Okay number 3.
So I think he could be a 2 moving forward. Crowder's a perfect slot.
Yeah.
So Crowder in the second half has shown you what we expected from him in the first half. Crowder's perfectly suited to be a 3. If you can get, I think, a vet receiver to be your 1, I'm okay with Crowder being a 2, and then Grant being your 4. That's solid receiving core.
Like I said, I think he's an okay number 3. Now maybe he gets better next year, and then he can move into that solid number 2. But right now, to me,
6 touchdown catches.
Okay,
I mean,
it's not insignificant, but it's just weird. It's weird.
I mean, Julio Jones doesn't have 6 touchdown catches this year.
Yeah,
not to compare him with Julio Jones. But.
Yeah, I mean, it shows he's got big play capability, but does he have the every down ability? Can he do it consistently? Obviously an athlete, but I don't know anything. He seems to me like I don't know anything about running routes, but it almost seems like not refined. There's something about his receiving skills that aren't refined.
Still kind of learning.
Yeah, he's just an athletic kid that can make almost any play, but he doesn't seem to do it consistently. But I thought the story of the game was how rough the Redskins started, particularly Kirk. That's about as bad as I've seen him start a game. And by the way, for people who don't realize this, I'm a huge Kirk backer. But I did tweet, wow, Kirk looks awful.
What were the numbers, the breakdowns for the half? Because I
don't know that, but he started out like 1 for 8,
so he was really
something like that. He just was out of sync. And what I thought was remarkable and what I think showed his growth is just how he settled in. And he didn't just, again, we've seen this for 2.5 years now. The numbers turned out to be really well. I mean, the interception, it was a catastrophic throw, but you could see what happened. Didn't see the backside safety. I mean, those kinds of things happen. I think he's still got a total of 9 picks on the year, 1 more than Tom Brady. He protects the ball like crazy. While this team is going to finish either 7-9 or 8-8, he's had another stellar year. You've seen tremendous growth from him. Yesterday, you saw it, 3 touchdowns and a pick in a not a great performance, but a very, very solid performance that you would take every week. And just, I hate to jump ahead, and I know this is going to be sort of what we're going to do for months, but just to be potentially. And I think I've been wanted to admit that the fact that they may let this guy walk at the peak of his powers is unbelievable to me, because I just cannot fathom starting Colt McCoy next year, or
drafting somebody.
Yeah, maybe hoping we get a Case Keenum or somebody.
Or trading for
or Tyrod Taylor,
Andy Dalton, or something like that.
Oh my God!
But how did the win make you feel about the team? Because I think it could make you feel 2 different ways. Like, man, if we hadn't had these injuries, we could have really been something.
I've thought that throughout.
Or just another typical same old skin season, stuck in mediocrity, and end up 7-9, 8-8, separate themselves from the pack.
I do think it was a little. If they were healthy, they would be a playoff team.
Pretty
I really
amazing.
believe that.
I thought Kirk's numbers would be down this year, and I guess they will actually be down in terms of yardage. But given the fact that he lost 2 1,000-yard receivers in Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson, and then Terrell Pryor was such a flameout, and Josh Doxson, for the most part, has been a disappointment, and he doesn't have Jordan Reed, and Chris Thompson, who was the best weapon for the first half of the season, are gone. The fact that he's got 27 touchdowns is pretty remarkable.
He's 6th in the NFL in touchdown passes with all that you said.
Pretty remarkable.
Remarkable with poop. I mean, yesterday, in his basically the first half, he was targeting a guy with 30 catches in his career and a special teamer in Niles Paul.
And by the way,
that's who he was targeting.
No running game.
No running game. Offensive line's been in shambles, although they didn't give up a sack yesterday.
Got to kind of give some credit to Gruden.
Absolutely. He does a great job scheming him up. I'm convinced he's Orf Turner, that he's a great offensive mind, and he's not head coach material.
For weeks.
No, I've been with you all along. But you have to get, if they finish 8-8, it's just way better than before. Now,
and here's the thing. Last week we were talking about this. See, I would actually move on from Gruden because I think it's inevitable. But I agree with you here in that, look, Jay has won a division and Kirk has won a division. Now, they were only 2 games above 500 that year. They were 9-7. They didn't run with it. He's certainly capable, like Norv was capable. Norv had a 13-3 season in there.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, when you look at Norv's numbers, after 200 games as a head coach, he's sub 500.
But here's the fact. Most head coaches aren't special. There may be a half dozen that you would consider special. Right. Yeah, obviously Belichick.
Like, I don't think he's
Tomlin.
a good coach. Like, if you had to describe him, this is the conversation that came out last week. I said, do you think that Jay is good? To me, he's average. Is he good?
He's a very good offensive coordinator.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But you're in charge of special teams.
He's not that great of a game manager.
Correct.
He really isn't.
And I don't think he's a great motivator of men, to be honest with you.
Yeah, who knows about that? But I would agree with you. I think he's a really good play caller. I would certainly want him on my staff to call plays. I just wouldn't want him as my coach. But getting back to Cousins, Cousins' numbers are, if you tally them up over the last 3 years, are really, really good.
Oh, they're like top 5.
Now, he's got no playoff wins and barely has a playoff.
But that's not all him.
I get it. I'm just saying. But, quarterbacks are kind of judged on that. But if you just look at, especially this year, you could argue that this year was his best year considering what he was throwing to.
Absolutely. And look at the defense. Going into the last 2 weeks, I think we had given up more points than any other team in football. I mean, the defense had been largely dreadful.
Been